Hey guys, so it's New Year's Eve right now. It's about 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as usual. And well, the state of my life as is today, right now, is that instead of doing, some normal college student New Year's Eve stuff, I'm at home in my dorm talking to a webcam about video games. So how about that? Um, this year, 2012, overall, for me, I guess, it wasn't the best year. Could have been better. Overall, I'd say the year was unfulfilling. Um, I mean that in a number of ways, but the way most uh, relevant to this is that I wanted to play a whole lot of games this year, a lot of good stuff came out. I mean, it wasn't the best year for gaming, but a lot of stuff came out. A lot of stuff I didn't play. Hell, even the games I did buy this year, I only played, a fraction of them. Uh, so I guess, and the thing I'm going to do right now reflects that. Um, I know other years I did like a top 10 or, just ranked all the games I played in order. But like I said, I didn't play that many this year, and a lot of the ones I didn't particularly stick out. The few that did, those are the few I'm going to talk about. But otherwise, nothing too spectacular. I mean, I missed a lot of the big games that a lot of people are talking about this time of year, and didn't play Dishonored. Didn't really have an interest in The Walking Dead. Don't have a PS3, so I didn't play Journey. Um, that's not to say this year was totally terrible, as I'll elaborate on in the list. But let's just get started, shall we? So Sonic 4 Episode 2 and New Super Mario Bros. 2 exist, and not really much to say. Uh, Sonic 4 Episode 2 is subpar, all things considered, I guess. And Mario Brothers 2 was just kind of meh. Not a lot of new, you know. Not that Mario games, like 2D Mario games ever really are nowadays. So that's all on those two. Retro City Rampage came out this year, and I enjoyed that. It's a little short, but it was nifty. It took forever to come out. Was it worth all the wait? Maybe. But I enjoyed what I played. It was a neat little arcadey experience. Thought the guns, the guns were pretty normal, the most of them, but I mean the cars were great. I liked Donkey Kong. I liked the Biffmobile. It was a funny little game. Again, nothing really extraordinary, but I guess it didn't really set out to do that. It was, after all, a demake. And it was only $15, or was it 10? I forget. Either way, it wasn't that expensive. I still boot it up from time to time to just rampage, I guess. Neat little game. Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance also existed, I guess. As did Prototype 2, which, now that I look back on it, was kind of disappointing. Like the first Prototype, I played, for years, really. I would just play it over and over again and just fly around the city and all that. And I don't know if it was because Prototype 2 didn't quite have the novelty because it was a sequel. It was definitely bigger. You were a lot more powerful by the end of the game. But I think maybe the map being little islands instead of just one big Manhattan had something to do with just not really enjoying going around. I guess I didn't enjoy the world as much, And with Kingdom Hearts, it's just getting kind of tired of the series. I mean, this was the best one in a long time, but the story really needs to be worked on, I think. It's like I have to think about things to say about these games. That kind of shows how they're not, it's nothing that I really have major opinions on by the end of the year after playing them. One game I do have a bit more opinions on is Assassin's Creed 3, also came out this year. And, I guess it was also a little disappointing. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't so much, but I actually really did enjoy the game. It's still not my favorite Assassin's Creed. That still goes to 2. But it was enjoyable, It was fun, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't this one, as I remember. Maybe I'm just tired. I don't know. I'd recommend it if you like the Assassin's Creed games. But I guess it really didn't have the the spectacle of the others. I mean, you had a war and all that, but colonial New York, colonial Boston aren't as pretty as Renaissance era Italy or I guess post-Renaissance Constantinople. Just not as, I don't want to say exotic, but I guess that's the word that best describes it. It doesn't feel like I'm being transported anywhere I want to really be transported to, even though the history is just as interesting. I picked up Hero Academy recently, and I'm really enjoying that, actually. I mean, I'm still playing that. I only got it like this month, but still, I mean, I think it's really nifty. It's a little, asymmetrical multiplayer type strategy game. Usually not my type of thing, but I don't know if it's just because I'm using the TF2 characters, but I'm really enjoying it. I think the game is really fun. I think that despite only having so many pieces and so much real estate to actually play on in the game, which is kind of like a board game, chess game type thing, there's just plenty of variables. And I do like playing with another person, even if it is, one move every 5 hours, and I'm sleeping when he makes his, so I have to wake up whenever, But I'd recommend it. It's only like $5 now because of the Steam sale if you get it on Steam. Apparently it's on iOS too. Don't know what it's priced like there because I have an Android phone. But yeah, I can see myself playing that for years, just, waiting for people to make their move. As long as there's a strong community, which there kind of is now. I hope it gets stronger. And because it's like a mobile game, instead of it getting weaker over time, hopefully more people will find out about it and they'll continually update it with more stuff, right? Hopefully, Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning came out this year. A lot of people, I feel, forgot about that game. A lot of people, I think, paid attention more to the drama with the studio going into bankruptcy and all that, more so than the actual game, which I really enjoyed, actually. I guess I found out about myself this year in terms of gaming that I'm not really a big fan of those big 100-hour RPGs, but I did like Kingdoms of Amalur. I didn't actually beat it because I felt like I was done with the game way faster than the game felt like it was done. I guess I don't know if I don't have the patience. The game just, it burned out. I burned out on the game. I really enjoyed it for the first 30 hours I was playing it, and then I just kind of felt I was done, Like I had taken everything I wanted to out of this game. And I still could play it more. I'll probably, pick it up again one day and complete it. But for now, I don't have to. I don't feel like I have to. I feel like I've gotten everything and that my purchase was worth it. And so I'd recommend the game, based on that. I feel like completing games, maybe not. But, if you just like to beat stuff up, which I think the battle system is a bit simple, but a bit button mashy. But I really enjoyed it all the same. And I enjoyed the customization. I enjoyed the world. I thought Amalur itself is it's a pretty interesting world to hop around in. So, if there ever was going to be a sequel, considering all the drama and bankruptcy and all that happened to, what was it? Sorry, dorms are loud, and it's New Year's. But, if there ever is a sequel, I'll definitely keep an eye on it, because I enjoyed the first game, even if I did never complete it, like I said. What else is worth talking about? Nintendo Land, and we're getting into the really good games, I feel. Like the games I could wholeheartedly recommend, like I don't think are bad at all. I really enjoyed what I played in Nintendo Land. I haven't played all the mini games yet because I haven't really had a party of 4 people to play them with. But I played some of the like 2-player ones. I played Zelda all by myself. I played Metroid with someone all through the Zelda minigame. Not Zelda, Metroid minigame all through with somebody else, and that was incredible. I mean, it was like a true arcade light gun type, hey, you shoot behind me and I'll shoot like I'll get you and you take my back and all that. And though it was incredibly simple, it was really fun. It was harder than I guess you'd expect from like a pack-in, tech demo for a console like Nintendo Land is. But it was like a full experience. It didn't feel like a mini game. It just felt like a short game. And it wasn't that short either. Like to beat the whole thing takes 2 hours. It's like 15 fleshed out stages, lots of enemies. So I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed Zelda, which is kind of the same thing, except it's more of a on rails experience if you're playing single player, that is. And I like the F-Zero game because, well, it's been forever since we've seen any hint of a new F-Zero. And it was pretty cool too. I mean, all the games are really simple, but they're entertaining, and I think you'd enjoy playing them. I enjoyed playing them, I guess is what I'm getting at. Now we're kind of getting into the incredible games. Like the last 3 games we're going to talk about are my top 3 games in no particular order of this year. And the first one is New Super Mario Bros. U, which 2D Mario, you know what you're getting into, you know what to expect, but it is the best example of that genre, of that archetype since Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. I personally feel it's better. I feel it's bigger. The presentation does have a lot to do with it. The graphics are there now with the HD, with the Wii U. And I like the level design. I thought the difficulty was perfect, like perfect start to finish arc. I liked all the new powers, all the new suits, the new Yoshis I thought were adorable. I just thought the whole game was just a pleasure to play through, like just pure, like concentrated platforming bliss. And, very simple, no frills really. But, sometimes you don't need them. Sometimes it's just the fundamentals, and that can carry an entire experience and make it incredibly memorable. And Nintendo, just over its 25 years with Mario, has, I guess, become a master of that. It's just become a master of the fundamentals, and they can prove, at the 2D Mario games, so some of them, this one in particular, that there's a lot to be said for just refining a formula and making it perfect. The next game was Kid Icarus Uprising, and I mean, this really, I guess, from its announcement came out of the blue, and no one knew what to expect when it was first announced. And even up to its release, like people weren't sure if it was like an arcade shooter, like a Galaga or like a Space Harrier, or is it more of just an action game like a Devil May Cry? And it was kind of its own unique thing, its own unique mixture of both. And needless to say, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much, in fact, that I actually had to start from scratch because I completed the game on my first copy. I did a lot of the multiplayer stuff. I got some really good weapons, these really cool laser claws that I got, and then I unceremoniously lost it in a parking lot. And a few weeks later, my friends, Micah and Fabian, were great, and I love them, and they're great for this, bought me a new copy. And I completed that, and I grinded for carts and stuff, and I got new weapons. So, I mean, I'm not usually the type to even 100% a game. So for me to say that I completed this game from scratch 2 times, like with the multiplayer and all that, not just playing through the story, but like, getting to a position, I think says something. The multiplayer, I think, deserves special mention of its own because I usually hate multiplayer, especially if it involves like shooting and, competitive stuff. I'm more of a co-op guy. But I really enjoyed the Kid Icarus multiplayer. I mean, it was really chaotic, a lot like it was basically 3D Smash Brothers with guns. Just like that feeling that essence of like a Smash Brothers multiplayer type experience. And you know, I haven't played it in a while, the multiplayer, just because I haven't had, you know, the time, or I'll like 4 people, you know, just all with 3DSs and Kid Icarus to do it with. But I would anytime, you know, if you just have like a 3DS, like, hey, want a Kid Icarus multiplayer, I will be there. Because I just enjoyed the experience, and oh man, the script for that game is amazing. The music I put on my phone, I listen to it like every day, because I think it's wonderful. Very gamey, but at the same time, it's also very theatric, especially some levels the I forget what chapter it is. When you go to the moon base, it's very reminiscent to Star Wars, down to the music, which I like. Um, Best game on the 3DS, in my opinion, is Kid Icarus Uprising. And my favorite game this year is Xenoblade Chronicles, which I felt is criminally underrepresented in like a lot of the year-end stuff that I've seen. Because Xenoblade Chronicles, and I haven't played through the last. I mean, I got the last story, but I haven't even touched it really yet. So maybe I'm missing out on that. But Xenoblade Chronicles is one of the best JRPGs I've ever played. It's one of the most revolutionary. I think it's one of the most timely, I guess, because a lot of JRPGs kind of feel trapped in these stale mechanics from the 80s, you know, like turn-based and all that. And I feel that Xenoblade really brought the the feel of the JRPG and the soul to modern times. You know, it sped everything up, gave you more control. I guess I can say it was more Western, whatever that's supposed to mean, in terms of game philosophy or whatever. But it still felt wholly JRPG, and not like, you know, it had the character archetypes and the design, you know, all the aesthetics and all that. But you know, more so, but it wasn't that to like a stereotype. You know, it wasn't the emo moody kid who was part of an experiment or something and has to save the world from, you know, a god who's his mom or his dad in the body of a giant whale monster, you know? It wasn't like that sort of JRPG feel where it's like, oh, I know what's going to happen. But, you know, it felt like how it must have felt to have to like play Final Fantasy VII for the first time after playing Final Fantasy like 6, you know? Like it was very much the same type of experience, but just updated and so, you know, so much more, I guess, relevant. You know, and I still love Final Fantasy VI. I still love Final Fantasy IV. But like Xenoblade just feels more modern than that, and it feels like what the JRPG should be. It's what we should be expecting from, you know, companies like Square Enix, instead of what they've given us with Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2, and now the terrible looking Lightning Returns. Like seriously, what the fuck is up with just that design for Lightning in the third game? She looks like she's part Gundam, and it's not worth getting angry about because my life sucks because it's 9:48 and I'm not doing anything. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles. Again, the music is fantastic. Again, I have the whole soundtrack on my phone, and the voice acting I liked because I have a thing for British accents, even if they're male. I think uh, it was appropriately silly at times, which I think was great. That they were, you know, because a lot of JRPGs have this thing. Oh, they're always super serious, but like they have like the Cockney guy, like the Cockney giant robot at the beginning. You know, it's like, oh, like chill whole family and all that. I can't do accents, but you know, it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole experience, and really, I think it should be a kind of a guide. Like, just ship this game to Square Enix. You know, say here's someone who gets what the JRPG should be in 2012 going forward. You know, and I think it's the best game. It is the best game I played all year, and I recommend it to anyone with a Wii, anyone getting a Wii U who hasn't picked it up. Um, yeah, so I guess that's that. Bit ranty, bit disorganized, but hey, look at my hair. I'm a disorganized type of guy. And Happy New Year, I guess. 2013. Hopefully better than this one.